ståendes utanför Trackmans högkvarter. Vi ska gå in och kika lite vad golfteknikens mecka har att erbjuda. Maffig byggnaden då. Wow! Kolla det här stället. The range är stort, men det här är en annan nivå. Till och med en Trackman i Lego. Ja, vi är ju i Danmark i och för sig. Det är klart. Så hur kommer det sig att det är Trackman är det självklara valet för touren, och hur fungerar hela Trackman avläsningsprocessen? Vi ska få gå ner och kolla i labbet. Det kommer bli häftigt. Allt kanske är suddigt för er. Vi får se lite vad vi får dela och inte dela, men det ska bli skithäftigt.
Trackman was founded just a little bit more than 20 years ago. And Trackman, so what's really funny with Trackman and the story in relation to Trackman range is actually that the original purpose behind the product was the Trackman was supposed to be a product to create a better practice experience, right? A practice experience where you could practice as a golfer with more purpose.
Yeah.
And the story about how the product came to be is a really, really good one. Mm-hmm. But as it relates to Trackman range, that was actually what it was supposed to be.
Right.
Now, what then happened was our founders, Klaus and Frederick, about 20 years ago, went to the US with this new radar product, right? Yeah. That they had devised in Klaus's garage. And they went to the US and they were trying to find buyers for this product. Mm-hmm. And what they found really quickly was that while the purpose of the original product was to create a practice product for the average golfer or the aspirational golfer to become better at the game, they actually created a product that created so much value for the equipment manufacturers and the pros around the world.
Yeah.
So the original idea was really practice with purpose for golfers, but we then took a 15, 16-year detour that then led to Trackman Range, which launched back in 2017 or so. So it's quite interesting how we've now come full circle on what the product vision originally was, and then just the long path through becoming the technology of choice for professional golfers, golf pros, teaching pros, touring pros, as well as equipment manufacturers. Yeah. And then afterwards actually coming back to sort of like the original visions of creating a product that makes golf more accessible and more fun and creates more purpose for golfers, both on Trackman Indoor as well as on Trackman Range. You know, for a lot of venues in Scandinavia, whether it be Denmark or it be Sweden, the driving range is somewhere that you go to warm up before your round and you hit your half a bucket because you showed up a little bit too late for your tee time, and then you hit the first tee, and that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
And it's clear with what you guys have done that there's a bigger vision behind that product, right? The vision behind the product this is now a place that you go to hang out. It's a place that you go if you don't have 4 hours for a round of golf, but you still want to have a good and engaging golf experience that might only last 60 to 90 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And obviously we are extremely exciting to be providing the technology to support that experience, right? So outside of all the great things that you are doing, we are really excited to, first of all, be upgrading all of the screens at the venue, right? So you're going to get the new nice 32-inch screens in all of the bays, outside of the inside to outside hitting bays that I also know that you guys are going to be implementing.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be the full-on Trackman Range experience. If we start with the Trackman 4 and Trackman Range, they are in reality very, very similar, right? So what the Trackman 4 and the Trackman Range systems are both predominantly radar-based.
Yeah.
Right? So it is a Doppler radar that is used to track the movement of the golf ball from the impact and until the ball lands. Yeah. Now the Trackman 4 sits much closer to the player than the Trackman Range does, because the Trackman Range, those that have been to the National have seen the radars are, 85, 90 meters in the outfield looking in towards the base, while normally you have a Trackman 4 right behind you if you're using that unit.
Yeah.
And because the Trackman 4 is right behind you, and because the Trackman 4 also has a camera that provides what we call OERT, so optically enhanced radar tracking, the Trackman 4 can also provide club data. Right, so the delivery of the golf club to the golf ball and then tracking the golf ball after impact.
Yeah.
The range system is too far away, so we cannot see the delivery of the golf club, and that's why we cannot deliver golf club data, but we do provide ball flight data. and the ball flight data that we deliver is delivered in the same way, right? So we track the ball from impact and until landing. So you could say the quality of the tracking of the golf ball itself on range and on Trackman 4 is actually identical, like we're using the same tracking algorithms.
Okay.
The I/O is a little bit different because the I/O is predominantly for indoor, so I/O is indoor optimized. And the Trackman I/O is actually more vision tracking based. It does also have a radar unit which supports in the tracking of the golf ball itself. But because the I/O is predominantly indoor and is sitting above the player, that's actually a camera tracking product that is supported by radar tracking instead of the other way around. So you could say I/O is designed for indoor and with indoor in mind and the best indoor experience. The Trackman 4 can be used indoor or can be used on the range the way that many of the pros do on tour every weekend. And the Trackman range system is a supersized version of the Trackman 4, but it sits a little bit further from the golfer, and that's why on the range system we provide ball data only and not club data.
One of the fun facts about this building is no matter where you are in the building, if you look this way, you see the tree line out here.
Yes.
No matter what direction you're actually pointing yourself in, you'll be able to see trees and see out of the building. So no matter where we move in this building, you will have a visual of the forest outside.
Yeah, and Trackman is a Danish company, and this is your headquarters, right?
This is our world headquarters, And then we have other offices. We have offices in the US and Arizona, where we have sim installations. We have a support office. We have the sales organization there for the entire US market.
Okay.
Then, based on time zones, we have support offices all over the world. So we also have in Colombia, we also have in Asia, and that when we can cover 24 hours a day. So whenever our support office in Copenhagen closes down, the US opens. Whenever the US closes down, then the Asian office is open. And that means that we constantly have an open telephone line. So whenever something happens at the National, could be in the middle of the night, something happens, you can call us up and we can fix it on the spot.
Okay, cool.
So that's a pretty neat way of doing it. So what you see here is that we have a normal flooring here that can actually create static electricity, which means that if I touch you, you can be a static electricity. In this department here, which is a no filming zone, you see that there's a different flooring.
Right.
That's because all our R&D people who are working on hardware is in there. And the electricity that you can generate from clothing or sneakers or anything like that can actually interfere with the process of developing our stuff.
Wow.
So we needed an anti-static flooring. So in there you will be grounded as soon as you step on that kind of flooring. So this is all the details that goes into to having a building like this.
That's incredible. Spännande.
So the people sitting in here were the people who developed the links course and the legs course for you guys, based on the material you got in, and then we basically designed everything. So that is what's happening in here.
Cool.
The next department we go through here is going to be our games. All the games that you will see on the range or the indoor stuff. All goes into these guys designing it. The Trackman Innovation Lab is the place where we are doing all of our R&D work. We are testing our software, we're testing our radar tracking, we're testing everything golf. We have equipment manufacturers sending prototypes for testing. We have everything that is golf related is being tested in here. So what we paused on here is our reality check.
Okay.
So it looks slightly complicated.
Slightly.
The gray boxes here are super high speed cameras.
Okay.
A quality system which can actually tell us what's happening in real life. Then we are correlating that to what is the Trackman actually saying, and this is a way for us to quality check if what's happening is really what's happening.
Right.
Then you can always argue, why don't you do it outside? Because if we go outside and doing tests like this, then we will always be depending on outside circumstances.
Like wind and
moisture, wind, heat and all this stuff. In this room, everything is controllable. So we can control everything, we can control and look at it. So this is basically the base for everything that is the Trackman reality check. In both Trackman 4 and the Trackman IO, our algorithms and our measurement on launch direction and ball speed are good enough to give you a realistic potting experience indoors as well.
Right.
So when we install the studios at the National, we are going to go through the software and make sure that the speed inside the studio matches the speed that we have in the software.
Right.
So you guys, if you have an 8 meters pot indoors, you're gonna have an 8 meters pot in field, and we can match that to the actual speed of either links or legs.
Super cool.
So it's going to be, whenever you guys open up the new range, it's going to be a different and a more improved indoor experience as well.
Amazing.
All Trackman units in the world are being assembled here. We don't have any production outside of this room.
Oh.
So all units, doesn't matter whether you are in Argentina or if you're in Japan or anywhere, all units leave this place.
Wow.
This team of people who is assembling the units here are super specialized in the individual stuff they do. So what my plan was here is to take you through the different building sites that we're doing and what units we're doing, and then I'm gonna give you guys some stories and some insights to some of the components inside the Trackman unit, because I could imagine some of your members are thinking, why is a Trackman unit so expensive? So I wanted to show you some of that. It's gonna be a bit nerdy, so let's
I like nerdy.
Let's deep into it. So basically see here that there's lines going up and down. So this line here is currently producing the Trackman IO unit. It's the ceiling mounted unit that is on this production line here. So all the components on the left side and the building spots on the right side. Everything is hand put into each unit, which is super impressive. So just the amount of people working here and having to assemble stuff is super special for a company our size. But we keep to this because this is the way we can quality assure that everything is as we want it to be.
And Trackman IO was the indoor.
It's the indoor optimized unit. That is the ceiling mounted one that you guys are going to have in the ground floor base. Down this route here is the PTU radars. And the PTU radar is the bigger one. This is the one that we use for broadcasting. We use it for baseball. We use it for football. It's like a unit that is a platform. PTU is a platform radar. So it's for the ranges, it's for the baseball and all that stuff where we need tracking, and then the different softwares are determining what we use it for. But these are the units that's going to be mounted on the NFL stadiums and all this stuff.
Cool.
Over here is the heart and soul of our company. This is the Trackman 4 assembly line. This is, we can't move any closer and film on it, but it's basically the heart and soul, the PTU, which is the computer of the unit. That is where it starts. It's being checked on this station here, being checked what it can do, and then we move down this line here. This is where we mount all the stuff into it. The chassis of the unit is plastic. But everything is specially designed for having all the small components in the minimum amount of space.
Right.
So these are super important. We're getting these produced here in Denmark, and then we start to assemble everything here. This is the back leg of a Trackman unit. It looks like just a piece of plastic. But fact of the matter is there's a lot of engineering into this one. Mounting it in the unit, pretty simple, but having a plastic cover on the backside of a unit. This one is the one that is controlling where the unit stands and the tilt of the unit. So we had to find a way, how could we do something that is not sensitive to heating?
Right.
So inside this plastic cover is a sheet of glass that is bent. So glass is super strong when it's bent. So we have glass in here that is bent in an angle, so it doesn't move in heating. But having glass on the edge of something makes it vulnerable. So we had to put something in here. We have aluminum feet on the unit, but we couldn't have aluminum here because that's a soft material. So we had to pull steel there, but you had to cover the steel in something that makes it look like the other part for a design purpose. So this is just the back leg where we have all of this engineering into it, and we haven't even moved into any of the technical part yet. This could, from a normal person's eye, look like just a piece of plastic.
Like a cutting board.
But actually this is specially designed at a factory in Denmark, because when you put paint on plastic, you need to have small metal pieces in the plastic to make it stick to the surface. You cannot have metal in a cover on a radar because that's going to interfere with signals.
Of course not.
So we obviously have to design and develop our own paint.
Yeah.
So we don't interfere with the information there.
Yeah.
So the orange paint that is being used here is a property of Trackman. We have a different company painting it for us, but we designed and own the project. On the back side of the unit, you see that we have these small pins.
Yeah.
And these small pins on the back side, when we mount it on the chassis I showed you earlier, these are the one that is making sure that the distance from the transmitters and the receivers are the exact same on every single Trackman. If we did not have these, we would not know if the plastic surface is correctly attached, because you see it can actually move.
Yeah.
So this is our way of making sure that all units that leaves the production line is 100% the same. So the back plate of a Trackman 4 unit is also hardware engineered and specially designed here with our design people. The reason for that is that when you have the PGU in there, you have electric engines and all that stuff running the legs.
Yep.
You will have something that creates heat. So we had a team finding out that aluminum is a good way of transporting heat.
Yeah.
Then we had to create the biggest amount of surface on it. So what we did was create this bumpy design here, because that is the most effective way to remove heat from the unit so it doesn't overheat. You put in the legs that it's on.
Yeah.
You could do different kinds of materials here. This is steel, because you cannot use aluminum because that's going to be too soft.
Too soft.
That means that if you put it on a rock, then you have an issue. So that's steel, but you obviously can't have two different types. So you have to make the steel and the aluminum, that's two different metals, looks exactly the same. Here we have a unit that is fully assembled. We only need to put in the top cover on that one. And then whenever they're done, they go in here.
Calibration mode.
Calibration mode. And one thing that we cannot live with is small differences.
No.
We know that all the cameras that leave this room are similarly calibrated.
Yeah.
Which means that we know for a fact now that every unit has the same. So on the OERT tracking, we know that the OERT is the same on all the units. Now it brings us into the next phase.
Wow.
These are the radar calibration rooms.
Radar calibration. Okay.
So basically what we do is that we mount a Trackman unit. Once again, all units needs to go through this process.
Yep.
Get it in there, we send some signals out. This room is completely radio silent. So we don't have any disturbances from anything. All units are manually handled here. And this is once again a part of the quality assurance.
Looks like a torture chamber.
It actually does, yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like it when you're in there and they close the doors. It's a horrible sensation.
It's a place you don't want to be trapped in.
So that was the tour of the production side here, and it's something that we are really proud of. And we're really proud of having all our production and assembly and manufacturing of the individual components here. There's only 3 components in a Trackman 4 that is not done in Denmark.
Wow.
And everything is assembled here.
I didn't know that every Trackman was hand-made, hand put together.
It is.
You imagine a company big as Trackman that everything is being produced in a factory by robots, but it's so neatly done. So you need the actual human hands to put everything together.
We need the expertise of the actual hand assembly people to maintain the quality of product. So that is the when people say, why does a Trackman cost you 20,000 euros? That is
why.
That is why.
Jag har ansvar för försäljningen av Trackman Range i Norden. Så jag är runt och besöker klubbar runt om i hela Norden. Jobbar med ett stort team i Norden där vi hela tiden arbetar för att hjälpa egentligen anläggningar att utvecklas, bli den moderna golfklubben, följa med, framtidssäkra och så vidare. Så att vi hjälper, jag skulle säga, inte så mycket att vi säljer, utan vi hjälper klubbar att utvecklas och komma in i den moderna golfklubben. Och jag hade en kollega tidigare på Trackman som sa, men kom ner till thenational och testa vad det är för någonting. Och då har jag slått miljontals golfbollar på analoga ranger. Jag kan lova. Och man har ju aldrig riktigt vetat. Men just det här att bli mätbar direkt på en range. Oavsett om du står och slår mot en röd flagga eller en grön flagga eller spelar ett spel eller någonting. Bara för att få siffror idag. Det är helt magiskt. Och jag blir hooked med en gång, man vill inte gå därifrån.
När jag svingar så går den så här långt och lägger jag lite mer handled då får jag mer spin eller vad det än må vara. Och det är kul att se hur Trackman har gått från att vara bara ett radarsystem som följer bollen till att nu bli ett verktyg som varenda proffs och nästan driving range har i världen.
Nej, men det är en helt otrolig resa och som du säger, det är så små marginal. På den här absolut högsta nivå så är det ju ner till minsta lilla detalj. Går vi då till en så här mer kommersiell produkt som en Trackman Range är som riktar sig till precis alla spelare. Till en pro-golfare har få ut bra data från en Trackman Range, medan du har den nöjesgolfaren som kan komma dit och spela spel med polarna eller kompisarna. Och barnfamiljen som har nöje med att spela de här icke-golfrelaterade, men det blir sånt enkelt steg in i golfvärlden. För jag menar, när jag växte upp så var det mer att man åkte med sina föräldrar, nu är det ju på medeltiden känns som, men då var det liksom stå och sikta efter en bucklig 50-skylt. Liksom. Du tröttnar ju och börjar gå och leta maskrus och ställa efter 10 minuter. Liksom. Men idag blir du ju direkt hooked på, de är ju uppväxta också med digitalt. Ja. Så det blir ju en enklare resa, men steget in är ju otroligt enkelt idag.
Vad har du att säga om våran satsning?
Ja, men jag tycker det är helt fantastiskt. När vi hörde om detta så tänkte man, fasen, ska detta bli verklighet från början liksom? Och nu är vi så nära. Och det är otroligt spännande. Jag var där för ett par veckor sedan och spelade och såg byggnaden på avstånd. Och alltså det är liksom, man ryser nästan redan innan man ens har sett en färdig produkt. Så att det kommer att bli, ja men det är absolut den nya benchmark eller måttstocken för en skandinavisk range. Alltså det är Sverige framförallt. Alltså det kommer att bli helt fantastiskt. Ja, det kommer att bli en kombinerad anläggning det här ju. Ja. Med både inomhussimulatorer där man kan spela golf, simulatorgolf på vintertid, eller om du kan spela den på sommaren också om det är dåligt väder. Eller om du bara helt enkelt vill spela simulatorgolf. Ja. Sen har du då den vanliga, om man säger, Trackman range-lösningen där du slår bollar ut på en range som vanligt med, och du får data, du kan spela olika spel. Man kan ju bland annat stå och träna på, i en av våra features som vi har som heter on-course practice, så kan du stå och träna på både på links och lakes redan innan du ska gå ut och spela en runda. Du kan mäta in dina par treor den dagen liksom, och där kan du även ställa in vinden. Så att dagens vind kan du sätta in den styrkan och så kan du stå och träna de slagen innan du ska gå ut den dagen. Så det är en riktigt kul feature. De andra får steppa upp nu.
Då avrundar vi den här dagen från Trackman här i Danmark. Och vi har fått se all deras otroliga genomarbetade teknik som de använder vid sina radar. Vi har fått se den här otroliga byggnaden som kostar nästan 500 miljoner danska kronor. Men nu ska jag sätta mig i bilen och åka hem.